Okay, so as you can see by the thumbnail, the X phasing error come down to the servo motor slash encoder. Not sure which part of it, but the very first thing that I checked when this machine arrived and the error arose was that motor and the cable. And I've gone full circle, wasted probably a week and a half of my life chasing this problem, and it turns out to be the first thing that I checked. Now, how did we get there? All you guys, thank you very much for all your comments. Everyone, you know, giving me suggestions of things to check, cables, boards, this, that, parameters. I've been through everything with this machine. There's nothing I haven't checked. I changed the Mocon, the processor, the video board, the amplifiers, the cables, you name it, I changed it. And in the end, I'm like, well, this is it. I've got nowhere else to go. And I'm still I was hopeful it was parameters, but then when that didn't work today, it still points back to the cable when I swapped X and Y. It still points back to the X setup having the issue, because when I plugged the plugs into the Y axis, it followed it. But I'm like, I checked the cable and I checked the motor. So I took the motor back off, put that to one side, and I took the X axis motor off for this machine. So obviously this is the one that we haven't really done too much on other than clean at the minute. So I nicked the motor off of here and I put it onto here and I turned the machine on and boom, all fine. No X phasing error, no servo error, X servo error too large when you turn it on. So we bring the E-stop out. I powered this thing on and off about 100 times this morning, just thinking in case there's something else. But it powers on every time with no issue. Fantastic, brilliant. I can now crack on with getting the ball screws tweaked, because as I said before, I'm not quite happy with them. Get that done and we're good. E-stop is out, we have no alarms, we clear that, we power up, restart, and the machine is completely good. There's not a problem. But how did I come to check that first off when it arrived and it made no difference? So I went and got the motor that I tested it with, and lo and behold, random, what are the chances, the motor that I tested has the same issue as the one that was in the machine. So here they both are. Now these are both the same make of motor. Sorry about focusing there. SGMG 09A2AB, SGMG 09A2AB. So this is the one, the VF1, that's from that machine, got the issue. This is the one, I already wrote on it, VF2. When I had the spares machine previously that I scrapped last year, some of you guys will remember, I took loads of stuff on it, off of it. And the X, the Y and the Z motors are one of the things I took off. Now that machine was running when I see it a long time ago. And then I ummed and ahed about getting some bits off it and I didn't bother. And then a few months later when I went back and I actually decided to buy it because I needed, excuse me, I needed a, at the time I needed a spindle and something else, and a vector drive I think. I went back and I bought the machine and some more boards had gone and this, that and the other. Now, whether that was bad initially and I just didn't see the error, or whether it, I don't know, one point or another, I thought it was a good motor. Now, my mistake, I should have checked it, because what I done was, oh, we've got an X phasing error on the machine, let's get one of my good spare motors, put that on, and we can put a cable and a motor on, and we'll cross that off the list. So I went and got this motor, and I put it on the machine, and we still got the phasing error. I had the cable on the machine off the same one, changed the cable as well, X phasing error. So there you go, it's not the motor and it's not the cable, boom, let's move on. Now 6 months later, when I've been doing other bits on the machine and the machine is pretty much ready to go, obviously I'm working through the ball screws, I'm asking you guys, you know, anyone got any ideas, because it's doing my nutting, can't get to the bottom of it. A lot of you guys saying, it's the cable, it's the cable, it's the cable. Well, in a sense, you were right, it was the motor, not quite the cable, but you were still in the same place and saying, well, if the error follows the connector, then you must be the cable or the motor. And I'm like, no, because I've checked them. Loads of you guys suggested tons of things to check, so I really appreciate all the replies. All the replies on the YouTube channel, giving me ideas of what to check. You guys replying to my same question that I put on the Facebook page and the CNC Repairman Hass group. Some people emailed me, sent me private messages, etc. Loads of things to drive. Really appreciate your help. It's great when everybody can sort of help out and give ideas, because I'm no repair guy as such. I've only experienced what I've experienced, so loads of you people are much more knowledgeable than me about this sort of stuff. I just play around and see if I can get things working. But it comes back to the motor, so I was just pretty unlucky that the one I had as a spare, which I assumed was good, you know what assume does, so don't do that. I've now chased my tail for, if you add it up, I bet you it's the best part of a week and a half of something that I could have fixed in 5 minutes. So I had 3 motors off the scrap machine, the X, the Y and the Z. The Z's slightly different, but the X and the Y are the same. I happened to pick up this one, which also didn't work, unbeknown to me at the time. It hadn't been tested. I had no way of testing. Well, I could have put it on a machine then, but I didn't. I just pulled it off and assumed it was good, because that wasn't the reason why the machine was scrapped. I've learnt that lesson now. Test everything. So X phasing error on this one, X phasing error on this one. That's my bad luck. So I got the second spare, and I put it in here, and I put it in there, and we have no issues. There's not a problem. So just unlucky for me, out of the 2 spare matching motors that I had, I picked up one that completely, chancing a million, maybe less, I picked up a motor with the same poxy issue as the one I was trying to test. So the very first thing I tried, the day the machine arrived, didn't really answer any questions because it had the same issue. So I assumed, no, motor's good, cable's good, let's crack on. So I've put processor boards, Mocon boards, I changed the video board, I changed the amplifiers, I tried a different, what else did I do? I didn't do the vector drive. I changed a couple of other, I changed cables, I changed power supply units, I changed everything. And it was the first bloody thing I tried. So yeah, lesson learned. Don't assume that the spares are good unless you saw them working, tested, etc. yourself. So now I have 2 of these to get repaired. I've opened these up, and I think the VF1, I'll put a little picture up now to show you inside. Took these connectors off, bone dry, lovely and clean, no coolant contamination, doesn't look like it's ever been opened. So here's a picture of that. And then when you go through on the Haas, like guide pages and stuff like that you get online, all it says about testing these motors is to test the cable for the power. So A, B and C pins, test that they're not shorted to ground. On the cable in the machine, you can test on A, B, C, test you've got continuity between each end of the cable, and also you can test the resistance that you've got an open circuit from all 3 legs between each other and all 3 legs to ground, and the cable tested out good, and the power pin on the motors, on both their motors, test out good. But obviously that phasing issue is in the encoder somewhere. If any of you guys have got any idea, because I'd like to get these repaired, no idea what that will cost or how involved it is, but I'd like to have them done so we've got spare motors. So yeah, that's the issue. Small update. Now we've got that one running. I'm going to get them ball screws sent back and get them tweaked because not happy with them. Then this machine will be happy days. I can button it up, get it up for sale. This one, I'm still not sure what to do, to be fair. I said before, it needs X, Y and Z screws. So I've just had it turned on here, not doing a lot. I was running the spindle, check something else. But it needs the X screw, the Y screw, the Z screw. But it's cleaned up real nice inside. I just don't know what to do in the sense of how much money to throw at it, or do I pull it apart for spares? Because obviously we've got 4 good drives, we've got a perfectly good vector drive, we've got a good board stack, we've got a good working gearbox. So I don't know what to do with this one yet, not too sure. But anyway, if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for all your help trying to solve the X phasing issue. Turns out kicking myself now because it was the first thing that I tried. Lesson learned. Cheers for watching. See you again soon.